Welcome to Nutrition Talk Tuesday. My name is Nicole Kale, board certified holistic nutritionist, and today's episode is titled, You Don't Have to Be Wealthy to Be Healthy. And this topic is so near and dear to my heart for a couple reasons. I want to make sure it is my job, it is my responsibility to make health not only ridiculously easy for you to attain, but to make sure that you can afford it, that you understand what does healthy mean for me, not only physically, emotionally, and spiritually, but financially. When we make a decision to be a little bit healthier and we're kind of embarking upon our wellness journey, we need to make sure that we can budget that. And I want to bring a little more inclusion to how do I make healthy affordable? In today's world, especially in the wellness space, there is a ton of information being thrown at you about what supplement is great, grass-fed, grass-finished beef, organic, non-GMO, and there's all these things coming at you. And perhaps that financially just isn't feasible for you right now. So you can be very, very, very healthy and not break the bank. I promise you. So for today, the first thing I want to do is I want to give you some resources. I want to talk to you today about independent companies that test for product purity, and they make sure that what product you're buying, that manufacturer is actually putting in your supplement or in your protein powder or in your lotion the ingredients that are stated on the label, and that there are no health harming items in their labeling that they're not disclosing. So there's a company, and I want to make sure you know this, I am not sponsored. This is just, I want you to have this knowledge. I want to empower you to be able to do the research and make sure that the money you're investing for a supplement, a food, a protein powder, no matter what it is, that's the item that you're actually getting versus, a subpar item that it could maybe even have bad ingredients in it for you. So the first thing is a product testing company. They're an independent lab called labdoor.com. labdoor.com. You can pretty much enter any supplement within reason on there. They won't have supplements that practitioners carry necessarily, like for example, Thorne, but most of the products that you can get in a health food store, a Whole Foods type of store, Target, whatever it may be, they will have a lot of those items, or even some of the products they have on Amazon. So you go into LabDoor and you enter the product that you want, completely free to you, does not cost you a penny, and it will tell you, it rates the product on a purity scale and also what the ingredients are, and if the manufacturer is being honest with what they're stating is in the supplement or protein powder. So LabDoor is an excellent resource for you, especially when you're on a budget, to make sure that you are investing your money wisely in a supplement. So LabDoor is like a little trick of the trade I want you to keep in your pocket. The other site is called EWG.org. That is environmentalworkinggroup.org. And they do the same type of testing as LabDoor does, but they do a ton of products. So your cleaning products, your laundry, your toothpaste, you name it, it's probably on EWG.org. And so these are really good resources for you to tuck away. If you want them, click the link in my bio, put your email in, and on our weekly recap, I will send these to you in an email personally so you have them on hand. But back to EWG, they are epic about giving you like a rating scale. There's literally like, if you're in grammar school, A, B, C, D, and so forth. And you can enter your toothpaste, you can enter your laundry soap, no matter what it is, and be like, what am I getting? How healthy is this for me to use in my home? If it's a chemical, if it's a toothpaste, no matter what it is, and then you can make an informed decision for the product. So those are the first two action items I wanted to give you, resources that you can use immediately after we end this episode. The next couple things I want to talk to you today about are more like nuggets of encouragement and love and just a little bit of wisdom. And I know that there is a lot being thrown at you, and it's difficult to have discernment sometimes. Like, what supplement should I take? Do I eat grass-fed, grass-finished meat? And this is what I want to tell you. There is not one food that you're going to eat that's going to kill you, and there's not one food that you're going to eat that's going to put you into the best health possible. The objective for you is to eat as healthy as you can that fits within your budget. There shouldn't be a pressure or a stress or a feeling of dissatisfaction or angst about the foods that you're buying. Healthy food comes in many forms. And when we start to think that health is expensive, it's usually because we're getting into the bougie items. And when I say bougie items, all I mean is like the fancy supplements, or maybe the fancy protein powders, or some magic mushroom elixir, cordyceps that's gonna boost your performance to the next level, right? Those are the items that start breaking the bank. The other food item that does tend to be a little pricier is meat, animal protein. If you're consuming animal protein, there's a couple things I wanna talk to you about. Obviously, my objective, when you see something that says NK approved, like a grass-fed, grass-finished beef or a supplement, it means I vetted the company from an ingredient standpoint, but I've also looked at the moral and ethical side of the company, and are they telling the truth? Are they being accurate? How do they run their business? How do they treat their employees? There's a whole vetting process that goes into that. But just because you can't afford to buy a grass-fed, grass-finished beef or a bison, that doesn't mean that you can't attain health. Doesn't mean that at all. And so I want you to realize the best product is not better. The better product is better. And what I mean by that is, let's say you eat animal protein 5 nights out of the week and you're unable to purchase a grass-fed, grass-finished meat. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I want to remove the pressure, remove the guilt, remove the nervousness from your heart about it. And I want to remind you that collectively, what we do overall is what matters. So your non-GMO organic veggies, those are more affordable. And even if you can't afford that, you can use the Dirty Dozen, right, from the EWG, and you can purchase your items from there. It's about making choices that are better today than they were yesterday, what works within your financial budget. And when I see this huge push online or just overall in the world that healthy means you have money, there's just this stereotype, there's this stigma, and that's just not true. You can be healthy and be on an extremely tight budget. As a matter of fact, one of my biggest pushes for this conversation we're having right now is my daughter is leaving to college and she's going to be on a tight budget. I would never want somebody in my position teaching her that if you want to be healthy, you have to buy $20 a pound meat and $15 a pound XYZ product. That's not feasible for a college student. And so there's a stereotype that surrounds college kids like, oh, we eat, what is it, Top Ramen or that box noodle soup. You better bet I don't want my daughter eating that. But the only way she knows that she can be healthy while she's in college on a tight budget is I've showed her how she can do it. And if I can show her that she can do it, I can show you that you can do it. Because it doesn't mean you have to be wealthy to attain your health. And the point of this whole video was I wanted to give you resource. I wanted to show you that there are resources out there like EWG and Labdoor where you can go for any product that you're purchasing that's a non-food item for the most part, and you can enter it right in there and see like, okay, cool. And then you pick it based upon the grade and the price point. So you are investing with your money in the best possible for what is right for you as the individual. And the other thing is, I wanted to bring a lot of attention to, like, you can be healthy and be on a very tight budget. Most of the foods that are healthy are relatively inexpensive. You can go to your local CSA. There are all types of good deals at places like Trader Joe's. Your produce is ridiculously inexpensive, right? It's when we get into the fancy items and when people that have influence are pushing certain items, especially when we're looking at like medicinal mushrooms and elderberry and hawthorn and all these different types of supplements, they can get expensive. But just because you can't get access to those or afford those at this time, that doesn't mean that you can't attain health. I want to bring awareness around this. I want to bring you peace. I want to make sure that you understand that you can attain health no matter what your financial status is. And sometimes we have to make choices, right? And so if we're talking about a chocolate bar that's NK approved, they're about $5 to $8 a bar. That's not attainable for most individuals, right? And I want to make sure that you know some alternatives to that. I want you to realize that I don't have to have a $200,000 a year job to be healthy. You can have a $20,000, you can have a $10,000 a year job and attain health. It's just about picking the right food items and being very specific with how you spend your money. So I want this to be encouraging to you. I want to remove the pressure of what we think health should cost us. It should never break the bank. And if you want to get a little more information or resource, like we talked about earlier, from EWG or labdoor.com, sign up. Link is in my bio for the email, and I will send you all the data on our weekly email recap.